You have a hydrated zinc sulfate, so ZnSO4 dot XH2O. When you supply the heat energy, it will decompose into zinc sulfate, plus it also give X moles of water. We don't know how many moles, X moles of water. They mentioned to us that in an experiment, we were having 0.57, like this total was 0.574 grams. Okay. And when we heat until the mass is constant, like once the mass is constant, means all of the zinc sulfate, hydrated zinc sulfate, has converted to anhydrous zinc sulfate. And what is the mass of anhydrous zinc sulfate? So this is 0.322. The first question is calculate the number of moles of zinc sulfate. So how many moles of zinc sulfate? Moles equal mass in gram. So 0.322 divided by the molar mass. What is the molar mass of a zinc sulfate? That is given to us. You can use a periodic table, but it's already given, so you don't have to use. So when you divide this 0.322, 0.002, it was. These are the moles. Next is calculate the mass of a water given off. This was a hydrated mass. This is the anhydrous mass. How I will know how much water is there? So I just subtract, because I know the mass of hydrated, I know the mass of anhydrous. So I'll just subtract them. So that is what I did, 0.574 minus 0.322. Why I did not use a formula for the second part? Because I don't know the moles of the water. That's why. So this was 0.252 grams of water. Then how many moles of water are there? So you have the mass in grams 0.252 divided by molar mass of a water. It's given 18 here. So when you divide, you get 0.014. Yes, it will be. Definitely the most question, if you are on this answer is wrong, definitely this will be different. Next, no, this will be same because this depends on the values you given. So you will last part you will have a different formula, ratio formula. But this is a question related to finding water of crystallization rather than solving the whole question for the moles. Now, how to find the value of X? Look, here I'm solving. We have a zinc sulfate, okay? And we have X water molecules. The moles of zinc sulfate were 0.002. The moles of the water is 0.014. What is the simplest ratio between them? So we divide by the smallest value. So 0.002 and this also 0.002. This will be 1 and this will be 7. So it means the actual formula is ZnSO4 dot 7H2O. So what is the value of X? The value of X is equals to 7. So whenever you solve such question in which you need the moles for water crystallization, first find the moles of anhydrous, then find the moles of water, and then take a simplest ratio. Yes.
Why did you write 7 not 1?
No, because we need X is a number with water, not with zinc is, if zinc is 1, water is 7. Water molecules are 7. Answer is coming 0.7. Just check the values. Maybe the first value 0.322. 0.322. It should be a whole number divided by 161. No, then nearest whole number you will take.
So you said you can take
What?
So you said you can take nearest whole number.
Yeah, in this question, like let's say when you divide, you got the answer 6.8. So you will take as 7.
You will?
Yeah, you should.
You said that you need to that you can't wrong.
That is empirical form. If it is coming out 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, then multiply them by 2. Summer third variant.
So we gave this as a mom.
Hmm?
She gave this as a mom.
Yeah. Now I'm just solving the question related to mole. Another question. 25 cm cube of a sodium hydroxide of a concentration 0.1 is neutralized by 20 cm cube of a sulfuric acid. I'm solving the last variance. calculate the concentration of a sulfuric acid using the steps. First, calculate the number of moles of sodium hydroxide. How to get the moles of sodium hydroxide?
25 divided by.
So we have 25 cm cube of a, yes,
0.025 multiplied by.
25 cm cube of a sodium hydroxide and the concentration is 0.1. To get the moles, concentration times the volume. Okay. What is the concentration? 0.1. And what about the volume? 25, and that is divided by 1000. Third, I'm doing this is second way, third variant.
Of 2024.
24, winter 24. 0.1 times 25 divided by 1000. What's the answer?
सीजन क्यों लिखते हैं winter?
Yes.
You can see or का सीजन change होता
तो सबसे साथ कौन सा होता है सर? समय
है।
Yeah, what's the answer?
नहीं समझ नहीं winter का था English में तो
In which like which one is the
Both are easy. It depends on your practice, like how much you have to.
March लोगों को इतनी इज्जत मिल जाती है।
Determine the number of moles of sulfuric acid. The first one we solve by formula. The second one we'll use a ratio. So what is? We'll take a ratio between sodium hydroxide and a sulfuric acid. So according to equation, the ratio between sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid 2:1. Like 2 gives 1. So if we have
0.0025.
0.0025, how many moles will be there? X. Cross multiply.
0.0025 divided by.
So 0.00125. Yeah. Then the concentration. If we need the concentration, concentration is moles divided by volume. So, and again, if you see the trend, first we use a formula, then we use a ratio, and now again we are using a formula. So moles, which are 0.00125 divided by volume of sulfuric acid. What volume of sulfuric acid? 20. Because we use a 20 cm cube of sulfuric acid. So divided 20 cm cube, how much in dm cube? 0.02.
फिजिक्स नहीं करना आपने जो नेम सब प्रोसेस कर रहे टाइम पे था
Yes, हाँ, नाम हमारा
So 0.0625.
Say listen to class. No, ये class कितना लगे नहीं दे रहा तो
9:30. So 0.0625. Yeah, you will ask your doubts. I will just end this class and then I will answer your doubts.
ये नाम चेंज
easy. Sorry, Pakistan.
In the last part, in the question, because they ask us to find the concentration in mole per dm cube, so we don't have to turn into grams. But let's say if the next part is there, can find the concentration in gram per dm cube. So multiply by the molar mass. The molar mass of a sulfuric acid. Yes, I said multiply by molar mass if we want to convert the concentration from mole to gram. Like mole per dm cube to gram per dm cube, multiply by the molar mass.
Perfect.
If the question is only mole per dm cube, then no need for multiplying by molar mass. In another experiment, 48 cm cube of a hydrogen gas was produced. The experiment carried out at a room temperature. Calculate the number of molecules in 48 cm cube of a hydrogen gas. So first we'll find the moles. Moles of a gas is moles equal volume divided by 24.
48 divided by 1,000.
No, this is for
0.048.
so this is 0.048
divided by 24.
divided by 24. So 0.048 divided by 24. What's the answer? So 0.002. We got the mole.
6.02.
And then 1 mole have this many particles. Okay.
Sir, do they always give us the Avogadro?
Yes, they do give. The Avogadro's constant value will be given.
इसमें क्या से लिखा है Avogadro's constant?
Hmm?
फिर how can we write?
Exponent is there. E double E.
610
Convert into scientific.
और
mod होते हैं।
मेरे पास तुम्हारे तो उसकी वीडियो थी पहले वो जो बिलाल की सुनी मेरे
So we got the moles and we need the number of the particles. So moles, which is 0.002, multiply by the Avogadro's constant to know the number of the particles. So 1.2 exponent 21. 1.204 exponent 21 particles or 21 molecules. If this was the same question, but they instead of molecule, if they say find the atoms, what we will do? No. It will be multiplied by 2, the final answer. Because if this was the same question and they ask us find the number of atoms, not divide, multiply. Why multiply? Look, we got the number of the molecules. When we got the one molecule contain 2 atoms. So the ratio between the molecule and atom is 1:2. So if I know the number of the molecules which are 1.2 exponent 21, then how many atoms will be there? X cross multiply. So it will be twice.
if they give us SO4 and write that in
Number of atoms?
Yeah.
Like,
Five.
let's say you got the molecules of SO4 and they ask how many atoms are there. How many atoms are there? 5. So the ratio is 1:5. So final answer will be multiplied by 5. Okay.
Oh.
5 elements, but the question was how many atoms are there. I did not say how many atoms of each element. 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen, so means one ion contain 5 atoms.
collection
Sir, ये बढ़ती है बस। इसमें था सर
अरे जो बेहतर है वो करो
सर हमारे इन्होंने 25 सेंटीमीटर की भी दी है
Because look, in past papers they use a practical value. It's not like randomly they will say the age of the universe and the earth is this. So they use a practical.
hardest past paper no?
तो हमें भी भेज
Thank them because the problem is they will not examine me. They will examine them. So share with them.
नहीं मेरा
Okay. I thought you want me to test.
सर आपके पास पेपर तो दिखा
तो मैं ही दे देंगे वापस
Okay, a similar question. Listen, a similar question.
तो ये नहीं करते बस
Finding the water of crystallization. Look, yeah, here we have nickel sulfate is there. So NiSO4 dot XH2O. When it decomposes, it gives nickel sulfate plus XH2O. So in an experiment, 0.454 grams is there. So this is 0.454 grams is used. When we heat, the remaining is 0.310. So means this is 0.310. It's a exact same question, only the compound they have changed. Now calculate the number of moles of nickel sulfate remaining. How to get the moles of nickel? No, 0.31 remaining. 0.310 divided by the molar mass 155. So you divide by 155. So same question, if you see the trend, this was a question in October 24, and now 20. No, before when we solved.
Sir, if he didn't say it,
सर per March
Sir,
is
what
not
do
the
you
same.
say?
Me
What
to
about
get
the
here.
we'll take 0.45.
23. 24 and 23.
Sir,
What's the answer here? Quickly. I will answer you, just a minute. 0.002. Calculate the mass of a water given off. So how to know the mass of a water? You just subtract. So 0.454 minus 0.310. 144. Then calculate the moles. So 0.144 divided by 18. We got the moles of water. How many? 0.008. Then we take a simplest ratio between them. we take a simplest ratio between nickel sulfate and the water molecule, like 0.002, and this is 0.008. So we divide both of them by 0.002. This will be 1 and this will be 8, 4.
It's 4. Why you said 8? Wrong, sir.
4, 4.
Yes.
So means what is the value of x? It means the value of x is equals to 4.
That's
So-
fast.
What?
That's much faster.
So what we did is the same thing. Well, like we got the moles of anhydrous, then we got the moles of water, mass of water, then moles of water, and just take a simplest ratio. So whenever they ask, yes,
If now he said calculate the number of walls of NiCO, but remaining. If you didn't write remaining, then you divide by 0.454.
yeah, if they ask calculate the moles of hydrated, then 0.
Written remaining. That's why we divided by 0.310.
Yeah, this because the mass of the remaining is 0.310
Same question आपने
and the molar mass is 155 for the remaining.
No, I mean if it was a division remaining.
हाँ बात सही है.
Remaining the question.
Yeah.
It was
Practical
remaining.
exam था.
Then what you are saying?
Same लग रहा है.
If it was just calculate the number of moles of NiSO4.
No, it's still the same method. Same. Because the mass of NiSO4 is 0.310. Then the value of x will get as 4. Is it clear this one? Next we have this one winter.
हाँ
Different लग रहा है बहुत.
इतना भी ये नहीं एग्जैक्ट वर्ड टू वर्ड नहीं सेम होता
बहुत same है.
क्या
वही तो फैट मार्क्स का मिल गया ना, मैं फैट मार्क्स मिल गया. नहीं. अप्रैल में मिल गया था मुझे फैट मार्क्स का.
How to find the average mass from the
24 into 85 plus 26 into 15 divided
so
by
mass of isotope multiplied by percentage plus mass of isotope multiplied by percentage divided by 100, and we'll get the answer in 1 decimal place.
Only thing left is the Avogadro.
No, that Avogadro's is also easy. Like you get the moles, and only additional step for Avogadro is multiply by the Avogadro's number. That's it. When you see Avogadro's constant,
0.
yeah, that will be given in exam. You don't have to memorize. But once you use multiple time,
अभी मार्च के सेम आंसर
okay, we have
अक्टूबर
25 cm cube of 2 mole per dm cube sulfuric acid is added to zinc, which is in excess. Calculate the number of moles of sulfuric acid. So we have concentration in volume, we'll get the moles. Calculate the moles of hydrogen, we'll take a ratio 1:1, we'll get the moles. And then this is summer 23. Then calculate the volume of hydrogen. So this is a formula, ratio formula. Okay. And then the volume